Hey guys, this is Barav. I'm so excited to be doing this video to share with you my thoughts and my perspective on what's going to happen to the markets from here on. So let's dive in. And today looks like a positive day. The markets are up huge. So let's just look at SPY. So let's go to today's option statistics. So you'll see that. In fact, there are a lot of people and a lot of ads saying, "Oh, the bull market is back on. S&P is going to go to the moon." Unfortunately, I don't think that's the case. If you're invested long in the markets or even say in equities, I think this is the time for you to start taking profits and also start positioning yourself to profit from the volatility increase that's going to happen. And you as much as there is a little more upside, so maybe a little 5 to 10% upside, but in the broader sense, knowing that the elections are going to happen in November, the results are going to be announced in Jan, with the coronavirus not being stable yet. There's a lot of economic turmoil in the markets right now, and you can see it with data. So don't assume and think that what I want or what I need is going to happen in the markets. It's never that case. So like most of you know, I always trade based on data, based on statistics, and that is the only thing that I'm looking at. So that's why I do options trading, because everything with options is around probability and statistics. Okay, so let's look at some numbers. This is going to be really interesting. So SPY, so if you notice, the number of calls are 2 million, puts 3 million. So yeah, number of people buying puts are 50% more. So it's not just the case of SPY. Okay, if you look at QQQ, which is the ETF for the Nasdaq index, 720K calls, 1.2 million puts. Okay, now let's look at IWM, which is the ETF for Russell 2000, and it's 135K calls, 277K puts. So basically twice the number of puts. And you might say, okay, how are the precious metals doing? So gold, 138K calls, 60K puts. More than twice the number of people are betting that gold is going to go up. Okay, so what is it for silver? So let's look at silver. Silver, again, this is more than double. So if you've been following me, you know that I buy physical gold and silver, and I always buy more silver than gold, just because when markets are not doing well, when it's basically a bear market, silver way outperforms gold. So that you can, I think, pretty much see from the number of participation in the overall market as well. So 113K puts, 280K calls, more than 2.5 times. And so let's look at some volatility based ETFs. So I think if you've looked at my guide, you'll know that the ones that I'm looking at are VXX and UVXY. So VXX has 176K puts, 217K calls. So these are inverse VIX ETFs. So basically more calls means that people are betting that volatility is going to go up. So how about UVXY? So if you're looking at UVXY, then there's more than double. So 64K puts and 135K calls. And that's basically, yeah, what is happening in the markets. And if you think that, okay, this is just a one-off thing, I'm afraid it's not really so. And let's look at SPY options for November. So November 3rd is when the voting happens. And if we look at, yeah, 20th, this is the nearest options that we have. So basically 20th November. And let's look at the open interest of some of the option contracts. So you'll see that, okay, there's 350, okay, there's 58K open interest for 350 calls. And yeah, nothing much really after that. So it's all kind of okay-ish. So there's only about, say, 29K at 400. Now let's look at, yeah, what's on the put side. So if you see, there's 88K at 315. So notice that all these big numbers are going to be at, like, multiples of 5, multiples of 10, because these are not individual retail investors like us who are doing these trades. So these are basically big banks, hedge funds, liquidity providers, market makers, doing these kind of trades. And yeah, so that's why you'll see all these numbers piling up at big numbers. So okay, 315 put 88K, 300 put 127K, 295 put 117K, 275 put 99K, 270 put 90K. So guys, it's not like there is a hype being created, but yeah, then the numbers speak for themselves. 240, 47K, and even if you go all the way up, 150 put, which is S&P is SPY is currently at 337, 150 put is at 98K. Now, yeah, let that sink in. And of course, you have all the data in front of you. If you still want to go and be bullish about the markets, trying to make that 5% maybe at best, or would you want to position yourself in a way that you're going to, profit from this? And it's basically the same trend. So even in Jan, in November, and yeah, it's the same thing. So and since a lot of you have reached out to me, and it's kind of overwhelming, so what I did was I actually did a Google Sheet where I'm basically recording all of my trades that I'm doing, specifically on how I'm positioning myself and my portfolio to be trading this crash whenever that happens, maybe in 2 months, 2 years, who cares, right? So I'm prepared for it. And this is a similar trade that I did during COVID. And again, I think you guys have seen that. So if you haven't, all of this information is available for free on Discord. So go and sign up for my Discord. And basically, the reason why I created this is to create a more engaging experience for you guys. So everything that Trade Shifu and Smart Forecast is doing is eventually going to move on to Discord. So as you can see, there's basics of options. So where, this is my basic course. And then so for Cash the Crash, which is what I'm talking about right now. So if you want to follow along and see what kind of trades I'm doing, again, these are not trade recommendations or suggestions or investment advice. This is just purely me sharing what I'm doing. And if that makes sense to you, you can go ahead and do that as well. And yeah, so all of this will be available here. And if you're already in and you're one of my ex students, then message me for the appropriate access. So people have gone through my mentorship course and other things. So Cash the Crash was what I was talking about. So in here, I basically, okay, so we just did a weekly call for a couple of people who were really interested on this program. And so this was what, yeah, the first week summary was. So we booked $3,000 in options premium in just the first week. And here's what the Google Sheet looks like. So I started with 40K on a brand new account. And so these are the different kinds of trades that we're doing. So because UVXY and VXX are designed to deteriorate over time or depreciate over time. So if I'm holding it, I've got to be doing an active strategy to basically fight the theta decay that's going to happen. And so these are all the trades. So until now, we haven't had a losing trade yet. Of course, the stock position itself is in a negative P&L as of right now, but that's the whole point, right? So we're buying it at almost an all-time low, and we know what happened during COVID. So if you look at the chart, UVXY went from basically $10 to 135, and markets are up today. And so this pattern is basically repeating, and it's going to happen again. And this might be a good entry point today. So I'll definitely be buying more. So here is what I have to offer. So I'll make it available in, so you can choose either one of the two. So the first one is if you just want access to my trades on Cash the Crash program. So which is basically all of the trades that I'm doing uh, yeah, for this, yeah, on how I'm basically trading the crash. Then you can uh, look for the first option. So which is basically you're going to get like the basics of options, access to the Cash the Crash Discord channel, which is also going to be, there's going to be a chat in there as well. And you also get 6 months of access to Smart Forecast for the SPY algo. So starting October 1st, it's going to be a paid service, and only those members who are paying for this will get these daily predictions. And until the end of this month, I'm still going to be posting it for free on both Discord and Facebook. And on from October 1st onwards, it's only going to be for the paid members who are going to be on Discord. So you're going to get 6 months free of that as well, and weekly Q&A to kind of understand what my thinking and my thought process is for the trades that I'm doing to prepare for the crash. So again, the VXX was one of the strategies, UVXY, and then there's another strategy that you can do with SPY. So whatever else that I'm going to be doing with it, you'll have access to it. So that's the first offer. And the second one is basically if you're very sure about smart forecast, and if you have had success with it and you know that you can make money with it, so then I want you on the program. So it's not for somebody who wants to try and test it out. So I think I was posting it for about more than 2 months, and uh, I've just been bombarded on Facebook, like, with a lot of people reaching out to me, and it's really taking a lot of time. So I think the best way going forward is to basically provide value to those people who are actively involved in it. And so that way it's, a better value of, or better use of your time and my time. So, and this is the only time that I'm going to be offering this. So it's basically going to be a lifetime access for Smart Forecast, at least for 2 years. So I have that set up. So in case something happens to me or whatever, you're going to get that for life. So not just SPY, you're also going to get like pre-market forecast, post-market predictions, QQQ as well, and I'm building IWM and anything else that I'm going to build down the pipeline, right? So I'm also trying to prepare content for like a profit mindset and a psychology course, because that is not talked about anywhere, and most people assume that you're going to develop that in the process of trading. But I feel that it's an important step that you need to do before you actually start trading. And then I'm also planning to do an interview series with successful traders and kind of figuring out what not to do, because there are a lot of people talking about okay what they did and the millions that they did make. But I want to be focusing on what are the mistakes and what are the things that you should avoid to kind of fall into that pitfall. And again, yeah, you'll have everything else, access to the cash the crash, the basics of the options, and yeah, so that's the two that I have, and it's only going to be for the first 20 people. And so once I hit 20 people, I'm going to close this membership for at least the lifetime access for Smart Forecast. And so if you guys are on the fence, and if you're like, oh, maybe I don't want to get this, I'm not sure if it's going to work out for me, then you can wait for a while when I'm going to make it like a membership, like a monthly subscription based service. So you can try it out and see if it's for you for a lesser price. And but that being said, yeah, so I'm really looking for serious people who want to get on board and who've had success with this. And so I'm looking forward to see you guys there. So you'll find all the details in the link below. And if you're somebody who is relatively new to options and you kind of want my help through it, also do like one-on-one coaching. So if you want that, there are about 2-3 people who have reached out to me, and I'm kind of helping them along the way to get everything set up and started and be on the right track. So if neither of this interests you and you're more interested in the one-to-one, yeah, just reach out to me on Facebook or Discord, and yeah, we'll take it from there. That's it, guys. Stay safe. I know it's Corona. Most people are still working from home. Hopefully, things get better, and if not, at least we have trading to fall back to. And be safe, guys, and take care. See ya.